Listen, beloved soul, breathe softly and do not run from this moment, because this moment has been arranged for you like a candle hidden in the night and now uncovered by careful hands. Yes, I am calling you. I am calling only you. And though others may hear these words, the message has a single address, the quiet chamber of your heart where I, Michael, have been waiting with a lantern of blue fire, and I will keep the light steady while you walk in, while you settle, while you feel the trembling recognition that what finds you now is not accident, not algorithm, not rumor, but a summons written in light upon the marrow of your life. A summons that says, open now before it is late. Open now because something extraordinary is forming on the horizon of your days, and it will shake the old borders of your beliefs until the fences come down and the wild meadow of your true self rises, fragrant and awake. You have felt it already, the little alarms ringing in gentle ways, the sudden hush inside a crowded room, the inexplicable shiver while washing your hands, the scent of roses where no flower stands, the flicker of a hallway lamp that stubbornly glows when you speak of love and dims when you speak of fear, the dream of water speaking in your mother's voice, the number that repeats itself like a friend knocking at the same door again and again. 1111, 333. The feather that appears on the path where you have never seen birds linger. The song on the radio that starts in the exact breath where you ask for a sign. The name of a city that keeps showing up on billboards and receipts and overheard conversations, as if the world is a choir rehearsing one word just for your ears. These are not accidents. These are strokes of my wing passing over your life. These are taps of my sword on your shoulder. These are small rehearsals for the larger music that approaches. Listen, stay to the end with me, because there are things that must be spoken in a single thread. There are healing words that only unlock when carried to their last syllable, and I will carry them with you. If you remain, I will tell you how grief is not a stone on your chest, but a gate in your garden. I will show you how guilt is a mask that dissolves at the touch of mercy. I will walk with you through the low rooms of loneliness and the bitter corridors of discouragement, and I will place in your hands a key that was forged from your tears and my light, and this key will open the place where your future has already forgiven your past. Remain with me, beloved. Remain to the end, for the end is a beginning wearing a tender disguise. You are being warned with urgency, not because doom is at your door, but because timing is sacred and tensile like the skin of a drum, and it is your time. You are being warned because a convergence is near, a set of moments fastened by grace, and if you stay numb, you will miss the door as it opens and closes like the blink of a benevolent eye. I am not fearful as mortals fear, but I am deeply concerned for you with the concern of a protector who has watched you carry too much, who has watched you shrink when you were meant to unfold, who has watched you promise yourself smallness to appease the frightened gods of others, who has watched you choose the familiar ache over the unknown balm. I am concerned because the extraordinary is not polite. It does not knock with a teacup in its hands. It flings windows wide and sweeps ashes from the hearth. And if your heart is latched shut, the wind cannot sing through it. So open now before it is late. Open as simply as you would open your hand to let a bird rise. Open by unclenching the thought you have repeated for years, that you are too broken, too late, too burdened, too stained, too tired. Open by placing your palm over your heart in this instant. I am with you, and when your hand touches your chest, you will feel the faint warmth that answers, and that warmth is a doorway. Keep your hand there, breathe, and say softly, even if your voice is a whisper, I am open. I receive. I surrender the heavy stones. I welcome the extraordinary ordained for me. And feel now, yes, feel this, the hush that settles like snowfall in a quiet city. Feel how your body recognizes the truth before your mind does. Feel how the blood listens, how the lungs broaden, how your shoulders lower a fraction, as if a weight has been lifted by invisible fingers that know your name. Beloved, I have watched the nights you thought no one noticed, the nights you folded yourself around your bruises and told the ceiling your secrets, because the ceiling never argued. I have seen how grief visited you like a tide that forgot its schedule, swelling on certain afternoons without invitation, carrying the voice of someone who is not here in flesh, but belongs to you in love. I have seen you look for them in crowds, in clouds, in the clatter of dishes, and the sudden click of a door, and I have watched you hide your searching so others would not fear for your sanity. Hear me tenderly. Nothing has been lost, only transformed. Those who cross the threshold are not gone to a sterile distance. They stand 3 inches to your left at the sink while you wash the cup. They stand beside your bed when you turn from side to side. They answer when you cry in the car. They bend the light in the room to say, "We are still here." The extraordinary that approaches includes the soft return of voices you love, not in a haunted way, but in a holy way, not to trap you in yesterday, but to thread blessing into your tomorrow. There is a night soon where you will dream of a door. It will be blue or green or the color of a river under moonlight. In the dream you will hesitate, because hesitation is a habit, and you will think you must ask permission to open what was made for you. When you see this door, reach for the knob, even if in the dream your hand shakes, even if a wind presses against it. Open it, step through, and say, "I come in peace." On the other side you will feel the presence of those you love, and also the presence of your own future self, who remembers how you finally lean toward joy. This dream is a rehearsal for an earthly decision you will soon make. The prophetic mark of it will be the scent of rain indoors upon waking, a strange fresh smell in your room where no window is open. When that scent rises, know the rehearsal is complete and the stage is being set. I know the names of your guilt, the small sharp labels you've tied around memories as if they were dangerous jars in a cupboard. I should have stayed. I should have left. I said too much. I said nothing. I broke what I cannot fix. I failed the test. I was the test. My hands are not clean. My words are not pure. My heart is not enough. And every time you reach for a new day, you brush against those labels and pull your hand back bleeding. But hear me now. The hand that holds the sword also holds a basin, and tonight I wash your names in mercy. This is not denial, but transformation. This is not pretending you did no harm, but guiding you into amends that heal rather than punish. The sword of truth is not a whip. It is a surgeon's light. Under that light, shame cannot survive. It withers like mold in sun. Forgive yourself, not because you deserve a pass, but because your breath is needed for what is coming, and shame is a thief of breath. The extraordinary that approaches needs you fully oxygenated in spirit, needs you able to stretch, to laugh unexpectedly, to let your face relearn softness, to dance with the gentle clumsiness of a child who knows a parent's hands surround them with air. You have felt alone even in rooms full of conversation. You have smiled with your mouth while your soul cupped its hands around a small fire and fed it crumbs of hope. You have said, "I am fine," to those who asked, because you doubted they had time for the real answer. You have become clever at surviving the day and poor at inhabiting the night. Loneliness is not a moral failure. It is an invitation to communion deeper than company. I am with you now, not as a metaphor but as presence. If you close your eyes and attend, you will feel a coolness slide over your forehead, as if someone traced a circle there and kissed the center. That is my seal placed upon you for protection. If you tilt your head slightly, you will notice the room hushes, the distant noise retreating as if it were ashamed to intrude. This is the sound of being accompanied. Learn it, rely on it, return to it. And when the old ache drips into your chest like a slow faucet, speak aloud even if no one hears. Michael, stand with me. I will. I am. I have been, since before you had a name on your tongue. Discouragement has claimed your mornings like a landlord collecting rent. The first thought you greet has too often been the thought that says nothing changes, that says you are a loop on a broken machine. But your soul was never machinery. Your soul is orchard, river, flame. Discouragement thrives in stale rooms and dies in fresh air. Do a small rebellion now. Open a window, even if it is winter, and let the air come like an honest friend. Place a glass of water nearby as a simple altar, because water remembers blessings. When light glances across that surface, whisper your name into it. Whisper your desire to live and drink. If you have a candle, light it now. If you have no candle, your breath is flame enough. These are not superstitions. These are the language your body understands, the way your cells pray, the way matter agrees with spirit. And as you do this, write. Yes, write a sentence somewhere visible. Write it like a comment on the scroll of the world so that the world replies, I am open to the divine path prepared for me. The writing of it is a vow. The seeing of it is a reminder. The daily passing by it is a ritual of awakening. You are asking what the extraordinary will be. You are whispering details into the fold of your sleeve. Will it be a person, a door, a letter, a healing, a release, a move, a return? And I answer, yes. It will be what you most need to meet the purpose that has been humming under your skin all these years. For some, it will be the arrival of an ally who speaks in your true language, who hears the music you thought only you could hear. For some, it will be the soft closing of something that has hurt you for too long, the final day of the season that taught you to tighten. For some, it will be the radiant yes you were afraid to ask for because you didn't want to owe anyone, and now you will owe only truth. For some, it will be a city's name written in ash on the wind that follows you until you look up tickets and weep because the prices bend just for you. For some, it will be a body's healing that occurs in layers like dawn, like dawn, like dawn. For some, it will be a phone call that tastes like mercy. For some, it will be a creative river, loosening boulders that once stopped it. For all, it will be a gently unstoppable reclamation of self. But hear the warning woven into the blessing. Not everyone walking with you now can cross the next bridge. This is not cruelty, this is geometry. Some bonds were formed to protect your younger self and will become cages if you drag them into your elder truth. You will feel old agreements tug at your ankles like weeds. You will be tempted to delay, to compromise the new shape for the comfort of the old chorus. Do not. Bless what must end and let it end. Speak with simple honesty. I cannot shrink for love anymore. I cannot lie to keep the peace that refuses to include my soul. I cannot spend my life paying the bill for someone else's refusal to heal. These words will feel like stepping out of a tight shoe, and your feet will sting in the new air, and then they will remember the earth. The extraordinary that approaches is allergic to pretense. It asks for a clear vessel. It asks for a yes that does not whisper, apologies while it speaks. A prophetic wind circles you in the coming days. You will notice 3 things in 1 week that repeat with an almost humorous insistence. A symbol of the sword, a symbol of a key, a symbol of a doorway. They may arrive on a billboard, in a dream, on the cover of a book, in the logo of a truck idling beside you at the light. When you notice the 3rd repetition, pause and breathe, because at that moment a choice will present itself. You will have the option to respond as you always have, or to respond as the person you are becoming. Choose the latter. This is how timelines change, not by grand speeches, but by humble fidelity to new truth in small moments. The blue of my mantle will brush your shoulder during that choice. Some will feel it as a chill, some as a warmth, some as a sudden clarity like the air after rain. I want you to know this plainly. I am not calling you to perform a miracle. I am calling you to receive one. There is no exam to pass. There is only the willingness to hold out your hands. The miracle approaches on sturdy feet. It is not fragile. It is not a mirage. It will meet you at the level of your consent. Say yes with your whole chest, with your throat free of the old knots, with your eyes unafraid to shine. Yes, even if tears rise, even if your voice shakes, even if cynicism tries to laugh in the corner, let it laugh and then gather it like a child and tell it to sit quietly and watch. You do not need to banish your fear to move forward. You simply need to stop offering it the steering wheel. Place the wheel back into faithful hands. Steer by the stars you have ignored because you were told the night was dangerous. The night is a cathedral and your courage is one of its windows. Some of you will receive a sign in the realm of scent. You will pass through a room and smell frankincense or roses or the clean sweetness of rain on stone. You will look around perplexed. This is me. I am announcing proximity. I am saying make space, make space. Some of you will witness lights flicker when you speak aloud your vow to begin again. Do not dismiss it. Say thank you and keep speaking. Some of you will feel the pressure of a hand between your shoulder blades when you hesitate at a doorway. A loving nudge, not to push you into danger but to move you out of crouching. Some of you will see a blue feather where there should be none. Some of you will lose something you thought you needed, and within hours realize it freed both your hands. These are appearances of a language that moves at the speed of grace. You will become fluent quickly because the heart is good at learning what it was born to remember. To the place in you that mourns, I speak gently. To the place in you that says I will always cry, I will always ache. I will always be the one left behind. I will always be the one who apologizes. I will always be the one who cleans up the broken glass. I will always be the one who smiles while dissolving. I speak gently. Your tears are not disobedient. They are holy water. You have kept a vigil for the love you lost, and love has noticed. In the coming days you will be surprised by an hour where laughter takes you unawares, where music animates your bones, where memories arrive not like knives but like quilts. This is not betrayal. It is a kiss sent forward from those you love, a sign that they do not need you to suffer for proof of devotion. They ask you to live as proof of devotion. They ask you to live and live fully, to eat something ripe, to take a walk without hurrying, to sit in the sun with your eyes closed and allow the warmth to write a psalm on your eyelids. To the place in you that feels guilty, I speak with clarity. The ledger you keep is not divine. The ink does not belong to heaven. You have tallied your faults as if God were an auditor. God is a gardener. The soil does not keep score of the seeds. The soil receives. What you owe is not punishment, but participation. What you owe is your willingness to plant something true and tend it. If apologies are needed, let them be honest and brief. If repair is possible, let it be practical and steady. If distance is required, let it be dignified. Do not turn your life into a courtroom. Turn it into a workshop where new kindness is crafted day by day. I stand at the door of this workshop. I bring tools of light. I teach the angle of the heart that makes the cut clean without cruelty. To the lonely I say, you are not unloved. You are being prepared for conversation with the holy that will echo in every human voice you meet thereafter. Do not interpret the empty chair as a condemnation. Interpret it as a throne waiting for presence. Set a place at your table for the unseen and say the grace you have forgotten. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for teaching me how to be with myself. Thank you that companionship is a river, and I am learning its bends. Soon, others will arrive who can swim without pulling you under. Soon, there will be hands that meet yours without trying to steal your fingers. Soon, there will be eyes that recognize you without asking you to disappear. Your solitude now is strengthening the part of you that can welcome without losing. When they come, you will not bargain your soul for company. You will bless company with the fullness of your soul. To the discouraged I say, refuse to give failure the final punctuation. Life is not a single sentence. It is a long paragraph with commas and line breaks and wholly run-on phrases that deplete grammar and defy despair. You tried. You will try again. But this time your effort will flow from ease rather than strain, from alignment rather than panic. The door that kept slamming at the old address will open at the new address because it is a different door and you are a different visitor. Let patience be your rhythm. Let trust be your posture. Keep your back straight in faith even if circumstances slouch. Remember this: the tree does not pull its fruit into being by worry. The tree receives sun and water and gives fruit when the season answers yes. You are a tree. Be patient with your yes. It is ripening. Now, a warning that is a mercy. Beware the sudden invitation that depends on your fear to function. Beware the agreement that requires you to become invisible. Beware the voice that flatters you into silence. Beware the urgency that does not honor your breath. Beware the old pattern that arrives with flowers but hides the familiar thorns. You will recognize these because your stomach tightens and your shoulders lift toward your ears as if to protect you from weather. When you feel that in the coming days, pause. Put your hand on your heart and ask, is this love or pressure? True paths feel spacious even when they require courage. False paths feel cramped even when they promise comfort. Remember this rule, and you will avoid unnecessary winter. And now, a promise delivered plainly. Within the span of days ahead, a message will arrive that you did not plan. It will carry words that unlock a locked corner of your life. It may be an email, a letter, a voice note, a conversation on a stairwell, a sentence overheard in a cafe that seems none of your business and yet rivets your soul. You will recognize it because the whole room will tilt toward it and the hair on your arms will rise. Write it down. It is not a coincidence. It is a divine footnote to your next chapter. In those same days, an act of generosity will find you, small but perfectly measured, and you will practice receiving without apology. This, too, is training for the extraordinary. If you have candles, light one tonight when the sky turns the color of forgiveness. Place the candle near the glass of water. Sit before them and let your face be baptized by the ordinary glow. Speak to me as you would to a perfect friend. Tell me everything without rehearsal. Tell me where it hurts, where you hide, where you hunger. Tell me the names of your dead, your living, your unborn dreams. While you speak, listen beneath your own voice for the slow and certain reply that does not scold or sizzle. That is the reply of peace. When you are done, whisper your vow. I open. I consent to be guided. I bless the endings that bless me. I welcome the beginnings that honor me. Then blow the candle out and watch the smoke rise like a thin blue river. Imagine that river carrying your prayer into the sky where it can be answered at the speed of mercy. Place your hand over your heart again. It is time for the healing to be written into your chest like a secret alphabet that every cell can read. Breathe in softly through your nose and exhale gently through your mouth. With each breath, I lay one feather of light upon the past version of you who tried and failed and tried again. I lay one feather upon the child who waited by the window, upon the teen who pretended not to need, upon the adult who carried the groceries of everyone else. I lay one feather upon the memory that still stings like snow and wind. I lay one feather upon the question that keeps you awake. This is a slow snow of blessing. Let it fall. Do not brush it off. Let it soften the noise. Let it reveal the shape of what truly matters. The way snow outlines branches at dawn. Soon you will step into a conversation where your words will carry more weight than you expect. Speak from your center. Do not explain yourself into invisibility. State what is true, what is kind, what is necessary, and then be silent and let the air do its work. Someone will hear you who has been waiting to hear truth spoken without arrows. This will change the arrangement of the room. This will make space. Notice the sudden roominess as a sign. Move your chair a bit forward in your own life. Lean in without apology. for the ones who fear losing everything. If they change one thing, listen. The universe is precise. When you close the door that starves you, a window does not open to feed you crumbs. A table is set. Insist on a seat at your own table. Insist without anger. Insist because you honor the one who crafted you. Every time you choose what honors your soul, the angels lift the edge of your days and pour light beneath so the floor is steady. You are not stepping into chaos. You are stepping onto a hidden path that rises to meet your feet, because it was built for you when your bones were made. You will encounter a moment where you are tempted to rehearse old pain out loud, to retell the story with all its familiar bruises. Pause. Try something new. Tell the story with the spotlight on your learning, on your endurance, on your brave small choices. Do not deny the pain. Relocate the hero. Put your future self in the front row and speak to them. Watch how your body changes when you do. Watch how the lungs loosen. Watch how the stomach nods. The nervous system is listening. Teach it a new song. Hum it while you wash dishes, while you walk, while you fold laundry. Hum it when envy tries to bite. Hum it when doubt pulls at your sleeve. The song is simple. I am guided. I am protected. I am loved. I am ready. In your room there is a quiet corner that will become an altar without anyone else needing to know. A small cloth, a stone from a day when you felt clear, a photograph that makes your chest swing open, a note to yourself written in your own hand, the glass of water, the candle. This altar is a reply to the world's noise. This altar is a seat for your soul. Sit there in brief minutes when the day stutters. Sit there when you want to scream. Sit there when the phone will not stop, and choose silence for one blessed minute. The extraordinary does not require hours of ceremony. It requires a door that is used. Keep opening it. Keep stepping through. Keep returning with gratitude like a farmer who trusts the seasons. There are revelations to deliver now, softly and straight. 1. There is someone in your life whose shadow has been crossing your threshold. You have tried to ignore it. You have told yourself they will learn how to stand in a way that does not block the light. They will not. It is your job to move the threshold. Do so with grace. You owe no blame, only clarity. 2. There is a craft at your fingertips that you have been postponing until you are perfect. Begin now as you are. The first imperfect pieces will be holy. Your hands will remember what your brain doubts. 3. There is a place you thought was ruined for you by sorrow. Visit it in your mind while held by my wings. Observe how the ruin has sprouted green at the edges. It is safe to return when your heart is ready. The return will not erase the past. It will introduce a new paragraph that gives the sentence a different meaning. Another revelation. The fear that tells you everything is about to fall apart is misreading the tremor of foundations being reinforced. Sometimes the scaffolding shakes while the stone is secured. Do not abandon the sight. Keep your helmet on, by which I mean, keep your mind covered with truth. When the hammer strikes, do not flinch. The sound is construction, not destruction. Soon, when the scaffolding comes down, others will say, "How did you build such steadiness?" And you will answer, "Mercy taught me to stay." An explicit promise. Within 7 dawns, you will notice a coincidence so precise that it dissolves your last loyal doubt. It may be a phrase spoken by a stranger that completes a sentence you started in your head. It may be the exact sum of money you needed appearing without fanfare. It may be a door that opens in a wall you were told was load-bearing. When it happens, stop what you are doing and say thank you out loud. This anchors the thread. This tells your nervous system that wonder is safe. Those who fear wonder tend to break it. You are learning to hold wonder with both hands. You will be protected. Take this literally. The blue mantle I carry is large enough to cover cities and small enough to line your pocket. Imagine slipping your fingers into that pocket when you stand at a threshold and feel uncertain. Imagine the fabric cool and steady. Imagine it smelling faintly of salt and sky. This is not childish. This is participation. Symbols are the handles of the unseen. Take hold and be steadied. If you are in traffic and anger surges around you like a storm, speak the name of peace into the wheel. If you are in a room where gossip gathers like a swarm, excuse yourself with dignity. If your own mind becomes a courtroom again, adjourn it with prayer. Call me. I have never failed to arrive. Many of you are carrying the memory of betrayal like a shard under the skin. You have learned to function with it embedded, but every reach for joy snags on it, tearing the new tissue. I will remove it now if you consent. Say, I consent to the removal of what no longer belongs in me. Say it sincerely, not theatrically. There may be a brief sting of feeling as the shard slides free. There may be an unexpected sob. Do not apologize to the air. Let it leave you. Place your hand again over your heart. Feel the warmth gather around the tiny wound. This is how the body receives justice. Justice is not revenge. It is right placement. The shard has been placed in light and will no longer demand your blood. To those who ask for a sign that cannot be missed, a small bird will come very near. A child will say something that cuts through your weather. The moon will be visible in the day, and you will see it at the exact moment you ask if this is real. The television will freeze on a frame that contains a word you needed to read. An old photograph will fall from a book you have not opened in years. Accept these as you would accept an embrace from a friend. Do not test them with cynicism. Do not scold yourself for needing reassurance. Reassurance is a language too. It is no sin to need to hear again and again that you are loved. Now we must speak of courage in simple terms. Courage is the willingness to tell the truth and keep breathing. Courage is the willingness to meet the hour with a soft face. Courage is the choice to carry your shame into the light where it cannot survive. Courage is refusing to outsource your worth. Courage is giving your future self your present loyalty. Courage is the mundane holiness of trying again without a flogger in your hand. You have courage. You have proved it by staying. Now you will use it with less violence against yourself and more tenderness. The most revolutionary sentence you will speak in the coming days may be, I deserve to live like someone loved by God. When fear raps at your door with a list of urgent items, answer with timing, not panic. Ask fear to sit in the hall. Pour it a glass of water. Tell it softly, I will listen to your concerns when I have prayed, and then pray like breathing. Prayer is not complicated. It is attention married to honesty. Your honesty is already a prayer. Your attention is already a sanctuary. When attention and honesty meet, my sword rings in the air. Truth becomes audible, and the lies that kept you bound uncurl like scorched paper. Some of you worry that if you bloom, those you love will feel small. That is not love's arithmetic. True bloom creates shade for others to rest, nectar for others to drink, seeds for others to plant. The only ones who resent your bloom are those addicted to scarcity. Bless them and keep blooming. Do not attend every argument you are invited to. Do not audition endlessly for roles that require you to play a ghost. Decline politely and return to your altar. You will be surprised how quickly the invitations change when you stop performing disappearance. If at any moment you feel this message is too much, pause. Place both feet on the ground. Imagine the earth as a grand and patient mother. Give her your dizziness. Give her your static. She knows what to do with it. Then, when you are ready, return. Nothing in this message expires. It waits for you like bread that does not harden, like water that does not stale. The sacred is not in a hurry. The urgency I carry is about your readiness, not about punishment. Open now because the dawn is at your window. Open now because mercy is already halfway up your stairs. In the coming nights you will be visited by dreams that feel like letters. Some will be stamped with places you've never been. Some will be signed by names you've not heard since childhood. I will stand in the margins of these letters, inscribing small notes of courage. When you wake, do not wrestle the dream into exact logic. Receive its fragrance. Ask what feeling it invited, not what accuracy it achieved. By following feeling, you will discover the path logic could not map. The mind loves maps. The soul loves the terrain. You are entering terrain. The miracle draws closer. You will feel yourself adjust to receive it, the way a room adjusts to a new piece of music. Sometimes the adjustment is subtle, less appetite for noise, more appetite for quiet. Sometimes it is abrupt. You walk into a store you have visited 10 times, and the thing you need is suddenly there on a high shelf. Sometimes it is relational. Someone who had no space for you finds space. Someone who took your space returns it without argument. Sometimes it is internal. The voice that once shouted now speaks in a level tone. The valley inside you grows grass again. Honor these shifts. Write them down. Let testimony be your lantern when the next bend of the path looks similar to an old cliff. I am changing the way time feels around you. The drag of dread will loosen. The hours will not feel like stones tied to your feet. Do not squander this shift on frantic proving. Choose 3 things each day that are faithful to your path and do them with presence. If you stumble, laugh. Laughter is an ally. Those who police the sacred do not trust laughter. I am not a policeman. I am a guardian. I measure holiness by love, not by severe faces. If you must choose between looking holy and being kind, choose kindness. Kindness is holiness. Wearing work clothes. Forgive now and forgive in a way that does not pretend what happened was fine. Forgive as a declaration of freedom. Forgive because dragging the past into the future is a kind of theft from yourself. Forgive as an act of radical self-respect. Say, I forgive you for what you knew and did, and I release what you did not know. Say, I forgive myself for the years I spent trying to make the story different by punishing my own heart. Say, I forgive the hour that broke me, and I bless the hour that rebuilt me. These sentences are keys. Turn them gently. Doors will swing. If you fear that forgiving will make you vulnerable, remember, my sword stands at your doorway. Boundaries are allowed to be beautiful. You can be merciful without being a doormat. You can be generous without being used up. Your yes can be a clean yes, your no a clean no. Do not let anyone talk you out of your clarity by accusing you of hardness. Kindness with boundaries is medicine. Kindness without boundaries is poison for the kind one. I see the place where you are tempted to choose numbness because it seems safer than hope. I see the drawer where you keep the old letters you read when you want to feel and then regret feeling. I see the playlist you use to cry. I see the blanket that smells like your first apartment. I bless them, and I ask you to set them gently aside tonight, just for an hour, and make room for new closeness. Invite joy to sit near you even if you do not yet recognize its face. You will know it by the way it does not demand but waits, by the way it notices small pleasures, your tea, your clean socks, your unhurried walk to the mailbox. Joy is not a stranger. Joy is a neighbor you have been too busy to greet. There is a subtle deception you must release, the belief that suffering makes you more worthy. Worthiness is native. Suffering may ripen compassion, but it is not a currency. You do not pay for love with pain. You receive love because you are loved. Allow this and watch how your choices change. You will no longer agree to the roles that keep you small. You will no longer train for desserts when a garden is offered. You will notice how some celebrations once frightened you because they felt like promises you could not keep. Now you will celebrate as a practice of trust and provision. The table will not run out. You may eat without glancing nervously to see who has not been served. Heaven tracks portions perfectly. If you need to cry now, cry. I am here. If you need to breathe quietly, breathe. I am here. If you need to speak aloud a promise to yourself, speak. I will keep my soul in the light. I will not surrender my voice to fear. I will not apologize for healing. I will walk away from rooms that cost me my peace. I will return to rooms that return me to God. I will let the extraordinary rearrange the furniture of my life. I will not cling to broken chairs for nostalgia. I will sit where truth sits. The next time you notice a sudden stillness in a public place, as if a bell were struck in a far tower, pause. The stillness is my cloak settling over you. Use that moment to ask for specific guidance. Do not be vague. Ask for what you actually need. Heaven responds to sincerity. If doors are required, ask for doors. If courage is required, ask for courage. If money is required, ask for provision. If wisdom is required, ask for wisdom. Do not wallpaper your desire with complicated phrases. A simple request spoken with a clean heart moves more powerfully than a theatrical speech offered by a frightened ego. I am sharpening your discernment. Where once you could not tell the difference between intuition and anxiety, between spirit and shame, you will begin to notice markers. Intuition is quiet and persistent. It repeats without panic. Anxiety is loud and changes its story to keep itself employed. Spirit is specific and kind. Shame is vague and cruel. Choose the voice that uses your name like a blessing. Notice how that voice invites rest after it speaks. Notice how the false voices demand more after you obey them. Begin to practice small obedience to the kind voice and watch your life align like magnets finding each other across a table. In the morning, when light slips into your room, greet it. Even if your greeting feels awkward, even if you slept badly, say good morning, light, welcome. I am willing. In the evening, when darkness gently takes the stage, greet it too. Say good evening, darkness. Thank you for caves and for stars. Declare your day completed, not perfect. Completion is mercy. Perfection is a tyrant. You are leaving the tyrants. Your soul will not serve them anymore. When worry speaks about the future as if it were a trap waiting to snap, remember, I have already walked the halls you will walk. I have marked safe doors with blue light. I have posted quiet helpers at certain intersections. I have slid signs into your dreams. I have arranged rivers to be low when you cross and high when your enemies approach. You are not stepping into unmade ground. You are stepping into prepared places. The extraordinary event that approaches is not random. It is a jeweled hinge connecting two chapters made for each other. Your yes will turn the hinge. Your trust will keep it oiled. If you want to anchor this message in something visible, write your prayer like a comment on the fabric of time itself. I am ready for the wholly new. I release what diminishes me. I declare that my steps are guarded, my heart is guided, my mind is clear, my body is a temple of kindness. Place this where you will see it. Every reading renews the vow. Every glance is a fresh signature. Do this without superstition. Do it like breathing. The mundane is holy when intention is present. There will be a day soon when you stand at a window and notice that the world looks a little brighter, though the weather has not changed. You will suspect a trick of the eye. It is not a trick. Clarity has been washing your lenses slowly. The color will return to places that had flattened. The edges will soften where you scraped yourself against them. You will say, "Is this healing?" Yes, this is healing. It rarely arrives like a parade. It arrives like bread rising, like seeds splitting, like the quiet apology followed by changed behavior. Let healing be plain. Let it be ordinary. Honor it by continuing. I ask you to bless those who cannot celebrate with you. Bless them and keep moving. I ask you to bless those who walk with you gladly. Bless them and invite them to your table. I ask you to bless the younger you who waited so long for this message. Bless them and tell them, you were never forgotten. I stood at the door. I stand still. I will not leave at the first sign of your flourishing. I will not withdraw when you glow. Angels are not threatened by human light. We cheer, we sing. We lay paths of brightness ahead so you can see where your feet go next. Now let the benediction begin. Breathe, beloved. Feel the crown of your head open like a window. Feel a gentle column of light descend. The color of first morning, the color of mercy. It moves through your mind and gathers the buzzing thoughts into a still bowl. It moves through your throat and loosens the knotted sentences, blessing your voice. It moves through your chest and meets your heart with a soft thunder that says you are safe. It moves through your stomach and unhooks the old alarms. It moves through your hips and tells them they are allowed to sway in joy. It moves down your legs and rests in your feet, tracing on the soles a map of where you will go. You are anointed for movement. You are anointed for rest. You are anointed for love. I speak forgiveness over you now, like rain over a thirsty field. I speak forgiveness that does not depend on deserving, but on the nature of the one who gives. I speak forgiveness over the word you wish you could take back, over the silence you wish you had broken, over the road you wish you had taken sooner, over the bed you wish you had left earlier, over the habit that held you, over the hunger that embarrassed you, over the hope that kept getting up when people told it to stay down. I speak forgiveness over the part of you that still does not trust nice things. Let the rain fall, let it soak. You will not be muddy forever. The sun will come and the field will breathe green. I bless your beginning again. I bless your first brave email. I bless your phone call that quivers. I bless your packing boxes. I bless your creative mess. I bless your hands as they learn. I bless your feet as they travel. I bless your bed as it becomes a place of true rest and true tenderness. I bless your table as it becomes a place of true conversation and true laughter. I bless your doorframe as it becomes a threshold of peace. I bless your wallet as it becomes a vessel of enough. I bless your calendar as it becomes a quilt stitched with yes and purpose. I bless your name as it becomes a bell rung in the right places. Now imagine me, Michael, standing before you with a scroll made of quiet lightning, a scroll that has your story inked in starlight. I break the seal not to expose you but to honor you. I read aloud the chapters where you survived, where you almost gave up, where you did give up and then stood again, where you loved without applause, where you forgave without witness, where you chose truth when it cost you comfort. Heaven applauds here. The air itself claps softly. Then I turn the page to the chapter that begins now. Your name writes itself in brighter script. The next lines are not blank because I have already seen them. I show you enough to assure you, but not so much that you stop walking. Trust the partial preview. It is kindness. I roll the scroll slowly, reverently. Before I tie it, I lean close and whisper what I have been waiting to whisper since you started listening. You are not late. You are right on time for your life. The extraordinary does not arrive to shame you, but to join you. Lift your face. Keep your hand on your heart when needed. Keep a candle and a glass of water nearby, not as idols, but as companions. Write your prayer as a witness. Forgive as a way of walking. Bless yourself morning and night. And when the signs appear, and they will, say yes. Say yes again. Say yes with joy. You have been warned with love, and you have been promised with love. Let the warning keep you awake, and let the promise keep you warm. Tonight, when you lay down, ask for the dream with the door and open it. Tomorrow, when you wake, greet the light and the darkness. In the days ahead, when the coincidence arrives, stop and say thank you. When the old pattern calls, ask if it offers love or pressure and choose accordingly. When the extraordinary arrives and your beliefs feel like tight shoes, take them off and let your soul walk barefoot on the clean floor of what is true. I draw the blue mantle around you now, tucking it softly under your chin. I place the sword at your side, not for violence but for clarity. I kiss your forehead with the seal that says, protected and guided. My wings arc above you like an archway, and beneath this arch you will pass safely into your next days. Hear the final blessing. May your grief become a garden. May your guilt become a guide to gentle amends. May your loneliness become a chapel. May your discouragement become compost for courage. May your losses become librarians teaching you where the rare books are shelved. may you find that what was meant to harm you ends up carrying you to the very place you were designed to bloom. Now, beloved, I roll the celestial scroll back upon itself. The light dims to a quiet pulse. The seal is set with a sign you will recognize when next we meet. I place the scroll in the chamber of your heart where only truth can open it. I turn away not in absence but in mystery. I remain near. I remain nearer than your breath. When you call, I answer. When you forget, I wait without resentment. When you remember, I rejoice. Go in peace now. Step gently. Look for the blue feather, the open door, the simple kindness. Let the extraordinary find you already opening, and when it does, tell me thank you, and I will answer your welcome in the language your soul has always understood, the language that sounds like home.